Russia has formally pulled out today of a treaty that was intended to build trust between Moscow and the West. The Russian Foreign Ministry's announcement of the country's official withdrawal from the Treaty on Open Skies comes nearly a year after it said it would quit the accord. The Kremlin has said that the United States' decision in 2020 to leave the treaty upset the balance of interests amongst the pact's members and compelled Russia to exit. The Treaty on Open Skies had allowed unarmed surveillance flights over 36 signatories. Russia had called on the U.S. to return to the treaty. Instead, the U.S. accused Russia of violating the pact, which Moscow denied. Let's look in a bit more detail at the Open Skies Treaty. It was signed in 1992 and entered into force in 2002. Participants allow unarmed aerial surveillance flights across their entire territory. Nations conducting an observation flight must provide 72 hours notice before arriving in the host country. Aircraft can be equipped with sensors that can collect basic information on military forces and their activities. For more, we're joined by Pavel Felgenheuer, a defense analyst and columnist in Moscow. Thanks so much for joining us. The Kremlin's saying that, it's the U.S. withdrawal which had significantly upset the balance of interest, and that's what compelled Russia to exit. What do you think of that?
Well, yes, that's how it is. The Russian position is that it doesn't really make much sense to stay within the treaty when America has left. In general, the treaty has overlived its practical usefulness and its time. It was signed when the Cold War ended, and it symbolized the end of the Cold War and the openness and mutual trust, which are not there, of course. And Russia believed that since it can't observe American territory, but American allies in NATO can observe Russian territory, that puts Russia at disadvantage. And so Russia also decided to leave the treaty, despite hoping, there was hope, of course, that Joe Biden would reverse Donald Trump's decision to abdicate from the treaty. That didn't happen, and now Russia is out too.
Well, thank you so much for your insights. We appreciate it. Pavel Felgenheuer, defense analyst and columnist, joining us from Moscow.